Aquarius, welcome back to Spiritual Influential Tarot. This is your weekly general reading for the third week of May. Please take what resonates with you and allow the other Aquarius to take the rest, please. With that being said, Spirit, may I have 9 cards for Aquarius, please. We're starting off with the Queen of Cups. Starting off with the Death card. Followed by the King of Pentacles. Followed by the World card, followed by the 8 of Swords. Followed by the Ace of Pentacles. Followed by the 10 of Cups. Followed by the Knight of Swords. I know you're probably wondering, cards fall on the table or when they slide off my table. But if they are not staring at me, I don't read them. They have to flip. I like them to flip and allow the Spirit to bring out the card. Last card, please. Thank you so much. Followed by the Hierophant. Very interesting. Oh, bottom of the deck. Excuse me, bottom of the deck. The Empress card. I always cross that card with the Empress. Excuse me, I always cross the last card with the last card of the deck, which is the Empress. Aquarius, you have very, very interesting cards here. Very, very interesting cards here. We're starting off with the Queen of Cups. Okay. As I always say, this is the... When it's in my head, it's always... I always do, per se, past, present, and future. Or you can always say the situation, the action that you have to take, and the future. So that way you have the outcome in your future. But we are starting off here with the Queen of Cups. And when it comes to the Queen of Cups, and this is your first card that is coming out, okay? It allows me right away to say that you have emotional stability in this situation, okay? I see the femininity, whether you know, male or female. Just because the Queen of Cups comes out doesn't mean that this cannot be a male. But Aquarius, See, usually Aquarius is very hard working as well. So when it comes to, you know, the Queen of Cups, I see you caring towards the situation, the life that you, I see that you're supportive here. So it's like I'm feeling empath and empathy here in this card for you. Okay. And when it comes to the Queen of Cups, so it's usually talking about you know, a female figure, no? Like a good mother, you know? But you can also be, okay, just sensitive or, you know, a caring male or nurturing male as well, okay, as well as a female, okay? Because, see, in this, since this is the first card that comes out, Aquarius, it allows me to say that you're intuitive, okay? That's where I felt empath, you know, you know, an empath, or, you know, okay, or a good mother or a nurturing person per se, okay? Because you being intuitive is showing me that you're in the flow, okay? Of it's like being like a daydreamer, you know, to be honest with you, it's almost like a psychic or you know, a good, you know, good listener too, you know. It's almost like a tarot reader, to be honest with you, you know. And I can say that there's transitioning here because it's being followed by the Death card. Okay, upon your situation, we see transitioning here. Okay, and this is what would be, per se, the action that you have to take. You have to transition, okay, here in the Death card. Death card when the Death card shows up, especially it being in your, per se, present, you know, or the action that must be taken, you know, when people see the Death card, everybody gets nervous, but in all reality, it's just a phase, okay, or aspect, okay, that you, that your life is no longer in need of, okay, or something in your life that is no longer serving you, so that therefore you are transitioning, you know. It's like it's now coming to an end, okay, here in your present, okay. Whatever the situation was where, you know, you felt somewhat like you had to nurture the situation, well, that's coming to an end now, okay? Because what's happening now is that because of this card being present, it allows me to let you know that you are now having that possibility, you know, that possibility of something like far more valuable, okay, and essential, okay. This here, I always tell everybody that sometimes, you know, when this card shows up in their readings, I always say this to every person that has had a reading with me. I say you know, sometimes must close one door in order to open another, okay. And do not ever feel you know, fear the fear, okay. I don't want you to ever fear the fear, because, okay, do not fear, per se, the change, okay, because it can truly be a positive change for you, a positive thing. And I can say that as well, because it is being followed here, which would be, per se, your outcome, okay, or say your future, all right. It is followed here by the King of Pentacles, okay, by the King of Pentacles. And when the King of Pentacles, you know, it comes around in, per se, in your future aisle, in your future, in the outcome of your situation. I'm looking at here, okay, manifestation of your goals. This is what this is. You know, your mind is thinking of certain things and attracting wealth. Okay, not only is it attracting wealth, but it's giving, it also brings that picture, you know, that picture in my mind where I see you, you know, like good in business. I see you, you know, grounded and stable and you know, a hard worker, you know. It's the King of Pentacles. You know, you are the kind of person that is it because you are a hard worker, okay? You're reaching, okay, and you don't mind reaching out even further, okay? The end, all right? Just how the transitioning here, this an end is coming. Well, because you know, okay, and you see things through the end, okay? I see you manifesting goals here. I see you proud of your achievements. Yeah. Okay. I see you emotionally and financially secure here. And this is the outcome. This would be your future card. So it's very, very important for you to understand that, Aquarius. Aquarius, with this being, I can say that because it is followed here by many favorites card. Allow me to cover here as we have to follow as spiritually influential tarot follows all guidelines, okay? And I gotta make sure there's no naked person on there. But anyway, when the World card comes up, especially after you're King of Pentacles, okay, me explaining to you that you're manifesting your goals, okay, it's letting me know that you are finally, okay, accomplishing your goal as well. Okay, not only manifesting it, but it's also coming to a purpose. Okay, you know, you are in the right place, doing the right thing at the right time. Okay, you feel whole and complete. This is what this card means. Okay, you are in tune. You know what's funny is that I can see when this card comes up, I always say people are in tuned with cosmic consciousness. Okay, and I just finished telling you that you have those abilities with your first card here, the Queen of Cups. Okay, like a psychic, like the ability to see much higher. Okay, because you are in the union, you know, connected with the universe. Okay, Aquarius, let me explain to you that it makes me very happy for you to see that you have, you know, this cosmic consciousness, and that you are somewhat, you know, one, okay, with universal understanding. It's very, very important. These are, you know, these are your beginning cards, okay? And I can say that you have to also, that you're, you know, that you need to continue on following your intuition. I can say that because the World card is being followed by the Eight of Swords, okay? By the Eight of Swords. And when the Eight of Swords comes around, okay, I always explain to people that in any reading, you see there are 3 swords here, and there are 5 swords here, right? But there is nothing around her. There's not a sword around her. It's the Eight of Swords, right? So 3 and 5. There's 8. There's no swords behind her. There's no swords. There's no swords in front of her. She's tied up, okay, and she has a blindfold, right? Which is allowing her, she has to trust her intuition to know what's in front of her and to feel what's behind her, right? When the 8 of Swords, okay, not only that, but I want you to understand that there's shallow water in front of her, even though that she thinks that is deep, okay? And sometimes, okay, we feel trapped and restricted and sort of helpless on certain situations, but we have to trust our intuition, okay? This is what this card is telling you, okay? You have to see the big picture, okay, in the situation that you are going through, so that way you can allow the change that is coming in your life, okay? And it's change through your thoughts as well, because these are swords, okay? And this is as well as in your, which would be the action that you have to take, which would be your present, okay, in order for you to move on to the future, okay? Because here, okay, I can say that because you are being given the new path, the new idea, okay, because it is being followed by the Ace of Pentacles, okay? And this is the hand of the divine. You are being blessed here, Aquarius, okay? With the Ace of Pentacles, it's like, it's letting you know the time is now. The time, and this is in your future, by the way. This is the outcome, okay, of any situation that you're going through at this moment. So therefore, Aquarius, now is the time, okay, in order for you to manifest whatever it is that's materialistic in your world, okay, whatever it is, okay, that you're thinking of getting, having, wanting, okay. The Ace of Pentacles, it's all about, so far this reading is all about manifestation, I'll tell you that much, okay. So far this entire reading has been becoming upon transitioning and manifestation, okay, upon your goals, okay. You know, this is a card upon you achieving your dreams. Thinking about your dreams, you realize your potential, okay. I see you with new financial beginnings, okay. It can be new career, okay, or even business opportunities. That's what you're looking at. You're looking at savings and prosperity, okay. Due to your investments, whether it is time, whatever it is that you have invested, okay, because the manifestation, all right, is coming your way. That's why it's being given to you, okay. And I can say that, I mean, your cards are just, your cards are so fluently, you know, it allows me to, the entire story for me is so clear, okay, Aquarius, okay, because that card is being followed by, the Ace of Pentacles is being followed by the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups, okay, you see them, you see them celebrating. There's the kids, okay, there's like there's that sense of happiness, okay, you know, emotional and spiritual stability, fulfillment, okay, you know, because that's what you know, cups are all about, the emotions that you're having. And whether I'm reading this vertically or horizontally, it's all about fulfillment. It's all about manifestation. It's all about reaching your goals. It's all about you being happy, you know, happy self, happy family. Okay, you have that divine that divine love and long-term relationships, okay? This is an accomplishment. So you have 10 accomplishments, okay? You know, true contentment, okay? You know, it's what describes your life right now. That's what describing your life right now, okay? And I can say that, okay, because it is also being followed, the 10 of Cups, followed by the Knight of Swords, okay? And the Knight of Swords, you see how stressed out he has his horse? Because he's going forward, okay, with his thoughts. It's all about action when it comes to the Knights, okay? Knight of Swords, I can see you're ambitious, okay? And your ambitions, all right? Okay? It's like you're excellent at what you do, okay? You are driven, Aquarius, okay? You're driven to success. I see it. I see you as a great present leader, okay? I see leadership here, okay? I see leadership qualities. This entire reading is about manifestation. This entire reading is about you reaching your goals, okay? You are ready to jump in, moving forward, okay? I just want you to do one thing, though, and listen to me when I tell you, just be careful, okay, not to be too impulsive, okay, because this card speaks about that, okay? Because when you're impulsive, you make hasty decisions. Anybody who's impulsive makes hasty decisions, okay? You know? And since you are not afraid to go against the flow, okay? You know, since you know that you are a champion, since you know that you are a warrior, whether you're male or female, okay? Since I see just said the Knight is willing to charge into battle, just be careful, okay? Just be careful as well, okay? Because you being a risk taker, okay? Just be careful with being impulsive, that's all, okay? All right, because also this is in your present, okay? And I want you to reach the outcome, all right? Okay, because here it is being followed by the Hierophant. And everybody knows when the Hierophant comes up, hopefully they have already watched my videos and they know that this is the tarot reader who breaks down certain cards in certain ways that you've never heard before, okay? Now, when it comes to the Hierophant, notice here that when the Hierophant comes, first look at the crown. This is 3-point crown on top. The 3-point crown stands for initiation, okay? Internship and mastery, okay? Or you can also use apprenticeship, internship, or mastery, or initiation, apprenticeship, and mastery. Excuse me. All right? So now, if you notice, there's 2 guys here, right? There's 2 men there, and what they're doing, okay, is being blessed. That's what they're doing, okay? This is a ceremony that's going on here, okay? This is about true values and traditional values. When it comes to the Hierophant, okay, it's allowing me to say that you have an established, okay, spiritual wisdom and guidance, okay. The Hierophant also speaks about, okay, before you make those kind of decisions, okay, to discover your own belief systems, it allows me to let you know that before you make choices, okay, you should always trust in a mentor, because that's what the Hierophant is. When you're trusting in a mentor, see, these 2 here are being initiated, right? And notice here the keys that are on the platform that the Hierophant is on, And every time this card comes up, it's always the song that I hear in my head. You got the keys, you got the keys, you got the keys, the keys, the keys. You have the keys for success, okay? You have the keys, Aquarius, okay, to move forward. You have the keys to manifest. You have the keys for your goals, okay, to reach them goals. Now, if you notice also here, around the platform, okay, it sort of looks like a table, but the Hierophant is on a platform, and they're sitting side by side of that platform. And in front of them platform, those are all, I'm trying to make sure you can see that. Those are Eucharists. Those are Eucharists, right? The Eucharist is a blessing that goes into your mouth, right? In per se churches, they give it to you, and the priest puts it in your mouth. It says, this is the body, okay, of Christ, right? The body. Another thing, or they also say this is the body of thy spirit, right? Also, if you notice here, notice right there how his hand is, okay? See his hand. This card is a blessed spiritual mentorship card. You see there? You see that symbol that he is making? Well, that symbol, okay, which is like this, is a symbol that all those with high consciousness or have that title of spirituality, okay, that people trust them to give per se a blessing. Whom do you always see that does that? The ones that you see do that are usually those that are called priests or shamans, or those that are in a cosmic, they have that cosmic higher frequency, okay? And you always see it as well in churches. And they say what? In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Right? Well, not only do you see that in churches from being done by priests, okay, but it is also a blessing. That symbol is a universal blessing known, okay, also by one person that used to do it all the time, okay, and his name is Yeshua of Nazareth, okay? And Yeshua of Nazareth, also known to many as Jesus Christ, does that symbol. And yes, I have the proof of it, okay, which is right here on my charm, okay? This is the Sacred Heart of Christ, and here he is doing the symbol, okay? Which anyone who looks at the Sacred Heart of Christ, you will see that he is pointing at the heart, and he is pointing at the heart like this, and has his hand like this. And that is the blessing, okay? You are being blessed. This is upon a blessing upon the manifestation of your goals, Aquarius. If you've been waiting for that, okay, well, allow me to tell you that that is happening, okay, because not only are you being blessed, okay, by the divine, by the hand of the divine, okay, the Hierophant is explaining to you that whatever you have in mind, you know, it's okay to look forward into a mentorship or look for guidance, okay? Because it is also followed by, which is the bottom of the deck card, which I always cross-reference the last card, which is the Empress, okay? And when the Empress comes around, all right, it's all about beauty. It's all about abundance. This is what this card speaks about. It speaks about abundance in your life, okay? There may be a new opportunity in your life, okay? If you have not received it already, then you're about to, okay? There's new business on the horizon. This is the reason why these cards are all about manifestation, okay? So I want you to always focus on your senses, okay? And on your creativity, okay? Your creative expression. It's very important, okay? Because see, notice that she is a nurturing person, okay? Not only that, but she makes things happen very easily by her, what I call her little wand, right? And her little wand, so I'm using terms so that way anybody can understand, the child can understand, okay? Because honestly, sometimes even the most youngest person, okay, even, you know, of course not a child, because, you know, they're not the ones out there working and you know, doing what they want to manifest, but after a certain age, you are out there doing things and manifesting your goals, okay? But see how easy it is for her to make the weeds grow, okay? To make the fields grow, okay? She just waves her wand and the fields start to grow, okay? Also, there's flowing water behind her, okay? Which comes down from the emperor, all right? He brings that water to her so that way it just, whatever she does flows, okay? And I always say to everybody who's on, who's receiving a reading here, and receives the Empress, we always say if the Empress card comes up, then it means that you're missing the male energy in your life, okay? And if the Emperor pops up, then you'll be missing the female energy in your life, okay? You know, it is very, very important for you to understand that, because sometimes, just how I explained that you have to open up, you have to close one door to open up another with the Death card, okay? You sometimes have to even give others opportunities, because they're also, maybe that female figure might just open up another path, or maybe that male figure might open up another path as well. But, and if you're looking for romance, then you can have it as well. You can have that as well in your life, okay? But let me ask you for a big favor, Aquarius. If you are so far enjoying this reading, I really would appreciate it if you can hit that like button and subscribe. I would truly, truly appreciate that. With that being said, let's go into your oracle cards here for guidance and wisdom, okay? See what from the side of your higher self says to you. 3 cards for Aquarius, please. Wow. It's like I said, you know, when they flip upside down, when they flip up, oh, look at me, that's what I accept, okay? And I mean, listen, we have 3 cards here on the spot, okay? This is fantastic. I really appreciate when 3 cards just come up, okay? The greatest. I love it. You know, I love when I love when I ask for, and you know, just 3 cards. You ask for 3 cards, I give you 3 cards. Okay. Well, we have here that the answers that you need. The first card is the answers, okay, that you need, okay? So I'm going to put this one on too. The answers that you need are coming, okay? You have a full moon in Gemini, all right? A full moon in Gemini. Your higher self is explaining to you, the spirit as well, is explaining to you that the answers you need are coming, okay? Why? Because you have a waxing moon here, and the energy is gaining momentum. Meaning your energy is gaining momentum, okay? Because Since the answers that you need are coming, the energy is gaining momentum. And why is that? Because you have a new moon, okay? A new start is coming. Okay? So if you put it together, okay, you have since the answers you need are coming, okay, the energy is gaining momentum because a new start is coming. Okay? With that being said, Aquarius, let's go into the side of your angel numbers as well. Go into your angel numbers here and see what these beautiful angels have to speak to you. And then afterwards, we'll go into a spiritual message to give you some comfort as well. 3 cards for Aquarius, please. Thank you. Thank you. 1 more card, please. Look at that. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. We have here your first card. It says self-love, angel number 676. Prioritize your well-being and cultivate a deep sense of love and compassion for yourself. Okay. We have the second card, empowerment. Angel number 898. Stand in your power to embrace your true potential with confidence. Absolutely. Okay. We have here your third card, grounding, 432. Angel number 432. You are reminded of the importance of staying grounded and centered amidst life's ups and downs. Connect with your inner strength and stability, finding peace and balance within yourself. Honestly, Aquarius, these are fantastic cards. Absolutely amazing cards that you have here for this reading. With that being said, Spirit, may I please have 1 card for Aquarius to bring her or him comfort in this reading, please. One card. The Spirit would like to let you know that resilience is one of the strongest qualities you have. It has gotten you through so many trials and tribulations in the past, and it will continue to do so. Lean on that inner tower of strength anytime that you need it. You've got this. Aquarius, if you have enjoyed your reading, I would like to ask you to please subscribe, like, share, and turn on your post notifications so that you don't miss out on any of your scheduled upcoming videos. And lastly, may you forever be blessed with great health, prosperity, and stability in your life, so that the day of tomorrow you can become a bit more spiritually influential. I will see you on your next scheduled video, Aquarius. Take care.